Good night.
You're funny. You're on, Mike.
Mike, doing the show.
Hello.
That's right.
How you all doing?
I know it's a little early.
We're fine. How are you?
It's a little early.
Oh, I'm good.
We're rolling early, and it's a big day.
I'd like to talk about an American product, if I may.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're good.
Something that I'm very fond of, something I'm proud of, something that has assisted me throughout my radio career, and something I'd like to talk to you about today. Clear Eyes.
You too?
Yeah.
Different reason.
What a great American product it is. You know, you take a little shower, or in my case, not.
I was going to say, I mean, the shower's optional.
You wake up and you smell something you've never smelled before, and it happens to be a conservative, Andrew Langer, as you wake up next to him in bed.
Yeah, it's a comfortable bed, Mike.
And you
Spooning.
and you say to yourself, you know, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to come in here, and I'm going to be able to do this show, even though I got no voice, even though I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning watching pundit.
All I know is that when I arrived,
Yes.
when I arrived today, I
Yes.
came around the corner.
What was I doing? This is important for you to point out to America what I was doing this morning.
You were in full day after mode because you had put on a hat and a hockey jersey.
Thank you.
And you were in your yard pulling signs.
Thank you very much. The first thing I was doing today, which is my American duty after duty.
Stop it. That's not funny.
After an election, my American duty and your American duty is to pull those obnoxious yard signs out of your front yard.
Now, did you save the receipt? Because I think we can get a refund if we take them back.
No, they will become a souvenir.
Yes, they will.
Ah, yes.
As my signs were in 2008, they are in 2012. And, you know, God knows if this is my last election. If I continue this lifestyle.
True of any of us, really.
If I continue this lifestyle, I will not survive another election. But I'm here to tell everybody. Reno,
Yes.
I hope I sober up by the time we are on stage Saturday night.
I think you'll be fine. Right now, you're sort of a fire hazard.
I am a fire hazard, but you know what? I am feeling good.
Good.
I am feeling ready.
Sure.
And I am feeling happy about the United States of America. Did anybody buy that?
You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Stop teasing that dog, you hear me? Stop teasing him. Sonny, I'm gonna beat your ass teasing my dog like that.
Yeah, like she tried to climb over his fence and get me fat ass.
Don't you call me that. You little tin weasel, peckerwood loony son.
Did you call me?
I know who you are. You're Teddy Duchamp. Your dad's a loony. A loony up in the nut house in Togus. He took your ear and he put it to a stove and he burnt it off.
My father stormed the beach at Normandy.
He's crazier than a house rat. No wonder you're acting the way you are, with a loony for a father.
You call my dad a loony again, and I'll kill you.
Loony, loony, loony.
Ah! I'm gonna rip your head off and out your neck!
You come on and try it, you little slimy bastard.
He wants you to go over there so he can beat the piss out of you and then take you to the cops.
You watch your mouth, smart guy. Let him do his own fighting.
Sure, you only outweighed my 500 pounds, fat ass!
I know all you guys, and all your fathers are going to get a call from me. Except for the loony up in Tokus.
Oh, come on, man.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Speedwax, Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
You don't want to piss off Corey Feldman.
Loony, loony, loony.
Live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios, it's America's most beloved podcast. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded more than 16 million times and heard in 150 countries worldwide.
That's a lot, right?
You can call us at 718. No, you can't. No, not today.
Not today.
I don't know. The calls went so well last night.
It is Wednesday, November 7, 2012. And,
the day after.
We are delighted to have you with us today. Our show is brought to you by... Does my mic sound weird? Or is
It does sound weird.
My mic is...
No one will tell you that, but it does.
What
It
happened?
doesn't. It sounds great.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
You sound
It doesn't.
hollow.
It sounds like I've never been in this studio before.
We're all hearing something different. I think it sounds a bit muffled. He thinks
Yeah.
it sounds hollow.
No,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Muffled?
Rob,
You
Mike,
think it sounds distorted.
come on,
Rob thinks
Rob.
it sounds fine.
I think it sounds like you had a hell of a night, Mike.
it ain't me. Our show today is brought to you by.
Little better.
I am not going to survive the microphone sounding like I literally have to scream. I need the microphone to sound like it's what it sounded like for the last 10 years.
He
Okay.
needs a little
And we've
juice.
only done this show for 3 years.
Okay.
Our show today. So bear with us.
You got to work through it.
Listen, we had a party in the studio last night, so
Yes.
bear with us. Our show today is brought to you by. I still. This is how I sound, Rob.
Well, no,
This
now,
is how I sound.
now you sound
This is
distant.
how I sound, like I'm off mic. And I want to sound better than that.
Okay.
I'm either distorted or I'm over here, Rob. It's not working.
Hey, congratulations.
Rob was like the second person here, next to Mark Ronick here.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that he's here, but we just continue to play with it.
Okay,
All
but
right?
you see, but you can't scream and do bits because then I really can't adjust against it, can I?
We had a night.
Did we?
It's election day after.
Right. Yes, it is.
Our show today is brought to you by. All I'm hearing. This is how it sounds.
I'm trying to adjust
Turn
it.
everybody's microphone
Oh,
off.
here we go.
Thank you. Our show today is brought to you by. Hear that? There. That should tell you how distorted it is right there. It's completely and utterly fucked. It really is. We're 30 seconds away from stopping the show. Oh, no. I don't want to do that, but I will. Do you hear how distorted it is?
It's getting better. It's getting better.
You're not touching anything. You wrote something down. What were you writing down?
My resignation. Now, if you would please speak, we can adjust against your voice.
Our show today was brought to you by Vistaprint.com. Hello. If you're starting a business, you need professional quality business cards. Do what millions of business owners do. We're getting there. We're getting there. We might be there. All right, that might be fine. All right, maybe stop there. How's that? Okay. Do what millions of business owners do and what we all did. Use Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint, now you're turning all the microphones on, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's
well.
why-
That's what one of the things we need to do.
Yeah, but that's all. That's,
Hi, Mike.
That's also why I can be heard through the other ones more than I can be heard through this one.
I see.
I got. You know what? He ain't an audio engineer. He's a lot of things, but he ain't an audio engineer.
He's
You
not.
are so right.
He is. Rob, seriously, would you agree that of all the things you do for this show, that this may be an area where you are challenged?
It's the worst thing I do.
It is.
You're
It is
supposed to.
so clearly the worst thing I do.
You're supposed to turn the knobs.
That's right. Buzz, you're helping. Thank you.
You notice how he's just sitting? Mark, go over and help him, please.
No, I can't help him.
He's
Good night, everybody.
That's the funniest line of the day. All right. Vistaprint has thousands of designs online, or you can upload your own artwork. I sound like Belushi after a Coke binge. Vistaprint now has an improved card. Yeah, right. Like I do. Yeah, I was doing lines all night long because I'm such a cokehead.
Was it snowing last night?
Yeah, right, exactly. Vistaprint has I wish I was. I'd be like Denzel in Flight. I'd be better. I'd do a better show today. All right, so they've got thousands of designs online, or you can upload your own artwork. Vistaprint now has an improved card with heavier stock and no price increase. Right now, you can get 250 of these cards and free shipping for just $10. That's half the regular price, but you have to enter the code TMOS in the search bar in the upper right-hand corner. Check out their whole line of printed products again for half off those premium business cards and free shipping. Enter the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com.
Thank you.
Well, here we are.
Yes.
Welcome.
Nothing prepared. Nothing. We are joined.
What did you do with the 15 free minutes you had between waking up and doing the show?
What I am doing right now, and I am saying this to Christy at Wait Not. Is Wait Not a sponsor today?
They are, Mike.
All right. Well, then I'll mention her when I get to her.
All right.
But I'm saying, Christy, today it's everything I can do.
Yeah, you're right.
Help me.
I want a colossal donut so bad you don't even know it.
Yeah.
I want to eat. I want to wake up this morning and I want to cook a lasagna.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I want to eat.
That would be good.
And who says you're lazy?
I want.
Yeah, who does say that?
I want to put a lasagna in the oven and eat the whole thing.
What you could
That's
do,
what I
Mike,
want to do.
That does
today.
what you
sound
need
tasty.
to do is here's what fat people do. Fat
What's that?
people combine different foods.
Have you eaten in the last 8 hours?
Oh,
have
yeah.
Have you eaten bad in the last 8
Yes, but I ate well this morning. I ate good this morning. I had an apple this morning.
What did you eat when you came home last night?
Ice cream and cookies.
Yeah, he's human.
Because, as I said, fat people like to combine different foods. So what you need to do is not a lasagna, not a donut. You need to make an invention, the breakfast lasagna. Which could be like
I have a recipe for that.
layers of noodles and eggs and sausage and then donuts on top.
Because, Rob, I am me. My body right now is really playing a game on me right now. It's just saying.
I need to change what I just did.
Okay.
No donuts on top. You serve the donuts on the side like garlic bread.
Oh my God!
And so you've got the
butter.
breakfast lasagna.
This is like those Krispy Kreme cheeseburgers.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you hear
is the man who has not left.
is Andrew Langer, who has not left my house
Just again to
since
say.
8 o'clock last night.
Did he ever take those boots off?
From the Institute for Liberty, Andrew Langer is here.
Still here.
Andrew, my
you,
favorite
guys.
conservative,
Thank you.
and Andrew, you have been in your personal organizer texting the world.
I've been trying to
He's
find
worse
the phone
than
number.
me.
I was supposed to check out of my hotel this morning that I never actually made it to. So I got stuff in my hotel that I've got to go pick up.
And he actually had a funny
I'm gonna
text
throw it up.
exchange with Mark
You
this
know-
morning.
Oh,
Because
yeah, Buzz too. Yeah, it was an email exchange.
How did that go?
I said, "Is the show dark today? Because it's awfully quiet over here." at the
Andrew,
O'Mara household."
I leave my house at about 10 a.m.
Right.
To come to the show, and just before 10 a.m., I get, and Mark received it too, an email from Andrew Langer saying, I just got up at Mike's house, and it's there's no one else up.
Right.
Is the show dark today? And I wrote back, gosh, I hope not, because I'm on my way.
did you feel captive?
No, I didn't. Not necessarily.
Like,
captive.
did you when you emailed? Did you stay in your room with the door locked?
hey, slow down. I untied him.
I know,
Oh.
and
Yeah,
that
go
was
ahead.
good of you.
I wasn't here last night.
Right.
What happened?
And I am aware of that.
Yes. What happened?
Funniest line that I will recount for everybody. Recount. Funny term.
I get it because of the
Hello,
election.
Florida.
Because of the election.
First of all, I have not looked at Facebook. I have not checked my emails.
Wow.
I have not checked my phone.
A lot going
I have
on.
not checked anything. Carla left for work at 7:30 this morning and
Whoa.
leaned over me and said, "I'll call you at 10 a.m."
Now you stayed till 4.
Yeah.
How late
Pretty
did
close.
Carla stay?
Andrew, when did you? Andrew and I was solving the world's problems.
Yes, good.
With Andrew Langer, I was doing elaborate business deals about that thing that we all know
Oh,
about.
the thing that's going to be big
the thing
announcement
that-
on
but
Tuesday.
yeah. Well, basically, I sold it to him last night.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
So at the end of the night,
Thank you, buddy.
Andrew is a guy that likes to talk.
No.
How's that?
I like to talk.
Yeah.
You give me Irish whiskey, I really like to talk.
Now you said, but
This is how the night ended. Andrew going, well, I think I've really got to get to bed.
That's how you know.
You know that I am talking way too much when that
I know. I
happens.
was doing a public service to the listeners of the Michael O'Mara
You were.
Yeah, you saved
were.
him. You saved
Because
him.
Andrew and I could have seriously been in that
We'd be
living
still
room,
up.
still going, solving the world's problems.
you trace the beginning of the evening per se, and I put evening in quotation marks,
Right.
is to a quote that Andrew said before we even started the thing last night. Is he said, "Where's the brown liquor?"
Yep. And that was a big mistake.
Yeah,
It was a
sorry.
turning point.
That
That's
was
right.
my
Since you
That was my
mentioned
fault.
it, you're in for a treat when you go to Facebook because people have really embraced the show that we did last night, and I'm so grateful to the amazing number of people who tuned in, and to Mark Ronick for doing a great job gluing it together and making a terrific video presentation, and everybody else on the panel, Rob, Katie, Andrew, and of course Bob.
Well, and we're talking about Division 012, which was our election night show, and you're going to get all the sides of everybody in that show. But most importantly, we do that show so that Buzz can pretend he's a real anchor.
That's
That's
right.
right. Yeah, it works. It fools
And
me.
it really was. I think it was pretty well balanced, and I think you guys did an amazing. Here's the best part.
Only
of the
lack
show.
of balance was you trying to find your way back to your chair.
The best part of the show is
Yeah.
where I was amazed when I came in here. I was watching CNN, and I always think of, maybe mistakenly so, I think of CNN as being the network that can make those calls earliest.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got a little Katie over in the corner and I don't know what website she was on, but she was amazing.
Was she tracking like 8 sites, right?
I said
she was making the calls before anybody was.
I know. I said at the top of the show, you're going to get the same information here that you're going to get anywhere else, and probably slower. Well, the fact of the matter was,
you guys were ahead of the curve.
Largely thanks to Katie, we were on or ahead of the curve most of the night. I was so impressed.
When Katie called New Hampshire for Obama, I'm like, no way. That's not going to happen, because you saw New Hampshire with long lines, with they were going to keep the polls open, all that crap.
And we've all seen the newsroom, and we don't want to call something if it actually is gone.
And she was very conservative about that, very careful about that.
But it was really a great night. Buzz, you stayed on till about what, 11:30? And Buzz stayed here after the show was over. Buzz stayed here for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was really very unusual for him.
To be fair, though, he had just mislaid his lighter. As soon as he found it, he was out the door.
Here are the ABCs of Buzz that I've learned after years of just... the ABCs of Buzz are Buzz plans on doing the show between 8 and 10.
Right.
Now, it ain't like he's got anything going after 10 o'clock.
You don't know.
But that 10 o'clock, because he is like the people in Orlando, Florida, that plan their meal at a certain time. When that 10 o'clock is approaching, it's like, we have discovered that Iran is sending a nuclear device. So Buzz would be, it's almost 10.
Kind of late.
9:59:40.
I know what an effort it was for you to stay.
It was a pleasure.
Past the 10 o'clock hour, and you did, because really...
Although there was there not a tremor of doubt in your mind that maybe we could have bailed at 10, even though we didn't have any results?
No, I was happy to hang in until actually a little after 11, at which point I began to question, are we going to have the results in any kind of a reasonable
But I do know we were at
266
just a few minutes before 11.
And
he only needed 4 more.
I know, and then the needle just stopped moving, and I thought, well, we could be here all night
if we relied on
and
Florida,
get no further.
if we'd had to rely on Florida, we'd still be waiting right now.
That's
thankfully.
right.
Yeah, we would have never gone home, right, Andrew?
We're gonna talk about. I want to get Andrew to tell us about how people because Andrew is not your you can't put Andrew in a little conservative
He's in the
room.
Certainly not
Can't put him in a little anything.
He really is kind of his own guy. That's why he hangs out with us dicks the day after an election. But I want to get that perspective on it. But if we can speak about Florida right now, it truly is mind-boggling to me that you have a state that is that large. It's like California. It's like New York. It's the population, and you come down to that few votes, and you come down to an electoral system that is just completely screwed.
Yes.
How do they do it?
Consistently.
I mean, and how does Buzz literally have a news story, 4 out of 5 days a week, consistently, with something, somebody pleasuring themselves in the middle of a Chuck E. Cheese? I mean, how does Florida do it? Why do I love that state? Why do I want to eventually live in
Why
that
do you have
state?
property there? Exactly.
It's interesting.
Well, because you love to pleasure yourself. And who doesn't?
It's an amazing state, and we do, I think, at the end of this election, even though there were no controversies about the outcome, really a decisive victory.
Well, people
for
would
Obama.
say otherwise. Some people.
Oh, now the haters would say that.
The
right?
people that don't vote.
Or are you just tweaking me?
No, I just look. I'd like to look at both sides of the coin. So when I was driving home, listening to the coverage,
You know what I think
said,
I need to do?
What?
I need to just pop you in the
He really shouldn't.
He didn't get a chance. He didn't get a chance
just
to pop
to
me
get
last
him
night.
back. I got to reset Oscar.
Today's the day.
Let him make up his comment as he goes. Let's see where he goes.
There are questions.
Let's see where this ends.
The disenfranchised in Florida.
Right.
They're still, and I'm sure Buzz will cover that. There are some questions in Ohio about the amount of people that were allowed to vote and the votes that are still out. I still believe that this election was won fair and square. And congratulations to you gentlemen. I know most of you are staunch Democrats. I will say that there was a part of
He
me...
is making it up as he
He's
goes.
really,
There
this
was
is
a
great. It
part
would
of
be
me-
so
I will
great.
say that. What
hey,
am I going to
no,
say?
Let's do something
I
like
get-
we did earlier. Let's turn off all the mics except his, and let's see how that goes.
Get the tap dance music.
That when I was driving home and I heard Fox News, because I get that feed on Sirius Satellite Radio, actually the actual Fox News, when they said we're still holding out hope because they had a 25% chance of winning Ohio.
Right.
I said this is just pathetic. Like, how could you sit there and continue to hold out hope with 25%?
You know, I'm gonna read you what I wrote at the end of the night because I really felt it was
Andrew,
important.
come back.
I think,
where have you gone? There's still ice. We have lots of ice.
This is 7 hours ago that I said it is the wee hours here in Virginia. Mm-hmm. I can't begin to stress enough how important it is to begin to repair the great divide in our nation. This is from the bottom of my heart. This is an old Irishman sitting there, and I felt this. You know that I said this on the show last night. I feel this. No gloating, just reconciliation, and a true desire to get our country back on track. My most sincere congratulations to Mitt Romney on a battle well fought. I believe that. I still believe that. Now let's get our act together, and let's get on with the job. That's what I wrote last night. That's what I feel today. I believe that. I believe,
a lot of people feel that.
You know, this is a message to anybody that's a Democrat that voted for Obama, that might be a partisan on this particular side. This is not the day to walk around like the Giants won the Super Bowl. You can't behave like that.
Nor can you walk around with a grudge. It's time for both sides to let this election go and move forward.
It is, Rob and Mark will tell you they drove up here, and the very first thing I did once I became functional this morning, outside of
untied
going
Andrew.
After that,
outside of going little potty, was to go out.
Yeah. and that was most of the 15 minutes?
Oh, yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Cry me a river.
That's right. Do we have any magazines?
No, little body.
That's the thing, Mike. It was standing and reading.
I can't do that. So I'm out, and the first thing I do is I take those yard signs down. And now let's take the yard signs down. Let's roll the sleeves up. Let's just realize that this is, in my humble opinion, a bit of a mandate from the American people that all your other people that were saying this and that, he's president. Deal with it. Now, as far as the Democrats, it's time to really start to be creative in how we get through to the other side. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And that's why the first thing I did was take the yard signs down. I'm going to leave the bumper stickers on my car probably for a day to gloat. And and there's only one person that I want to direct one moment of gloating to.
And that is?
And I planned on doing it today. I thought about it last night because I watched this guy. Rob remembers probably more than anybody else that there was a very significant moment in my career when we were starting to do the Mike O'Mara show on radio, and I know where you're going. I had designs on making it somewhat of a political punditry style show,
a politically flavored show,
to be part of the tapestry.
And I really was excited about it. I said, we're going to still be funny, but we're going to be kind of the Jon Stewart of the radio.
Sure.
But I will be able to, with my broadcast journalism background and my political background, this will be kind of fun. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed a guy in one interview.
I remember this.
That changed all of it.
I blocked out so many times that we had at WJFK, but I can remember watching your face during this entire interview, and it was a total change in the landscape.
I saw you change your mind. I can see it in your face.
I'm going to write this guy's name into a search engine because I have not. I stopped subscribing to his posts on the internet because they were so venomous. I got tired of listen. The guy's name is Dick Morris.
Yep.
And the guy that's going to come up is toe sucking.
Really, Dick Morris, Andrew, is a truly evil guy because he is a guy that I believe does not speak about politics from conviction. He speaks about politics because of vendetta. Mm-hmm. He has a grudge that he has held against the Clintons that he has had since he was a member of their administration.
It is something that I talked about last night, which is the issue of the politics of ego and the politics of blood sport. When the two of them come together, it's very, very destructive.
But isn't he kind of just an annoying speck at this point? I mean, Dick Morris is virtually vanished from the political scene as far as any level of importance, right?
I heard that.
Okay.
There is something about him that just said, I cannot wallow in this world. Mm-hmm. I cannot exist in this world. I don't want to do it on the radio because if you're coming up against guys like this, and on Dick Morris's column today, he writes, I've got egg on my face. I predicted a Romney landslide. You didn't predict a Romney landslide. You went on every single media outlet you could find to talk about how this was going to be, the most significant Romney victory. And I'm fine with that. A lot of people did that. Karl Rove did that.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
That's bravado.
But there's something about a guy like Dick Morris who I think really knows the facts before he gets on there
before
and
he states the
opposite.
Before he manufactures his
and
version.
I just wanted to say, if I was to gloat to one person, Andrew, I don't know if you've ever had any contact with this guy, but I just find a man like this to be the worst kind of political pundit we have out there because he knows better. And he misleads, and I think he misleads on purpose.
He uses his power for evil.
I just think he's irrelevant. I just don't think he's a player at this
You're probably right.
Yeah.
If today means we live in a world where we treat the gays with equal rights and we take care of our elderly, I want to live in this world.
Right.
Thank you.
And that is a good place to be. And I'll enjoy paying more taxes. I'll enjoy taking care of everybody that's not working these days and they're just getting government handouts.
I think
but I'm willing to do that.
I think it's important to really, and you can comment on this, Andrew. We'll break down the whole election.
He didn't do
anything.
anything.
Yeah, that's it. Oscar walks into my kitchen and looks at me and says, "We did it."
I really thought you were going to take him down like a football player.
Show ain't over yet.
He high-fived me, though. And then called me a dick.
We'll break down the whole election and how you feel and what the states are and all that. But at the end of the day, it's those kind of guys that I think if America takes a giant step backward from some of these people that really make their living by bull.
Yes.
And I see signs that they are stepping back.
You have people on Fox. I mean, if you had watched the Fox network starting at 8 o'clock yesterday morning and you would watch it all day, you would have heard Romney landslide.
Yeah.
Unquestionable. You heard Ed Gillespie, who was on
willing
there.
it. They're trying to will it so.
Now, the fact is, look, these people have the same internal polling that the Obama camp does. And they came out and they did this all day. And and what does that cause? Well, the people that watch Fox and drink the Kool-Aid on that particular network are probably feeling as angry as they might be about their guy because they are prepped all day for that. They're going to feel much more angry.
You got two choices, Mike. I mean, on the one hand, you wanted to generate voter enthusiasm for the candidate, but on the other hand, this may very well be what boomeranged on the Romney camp, in that they were predicting such an overwhelming victory that folks decided, well, I don't need to go out and vote. I'm just going to stay home. Now,
that could be true.
I don't know if that's
the Santana effect.
As I will mention in a few moments, again, the totally red state of Texas.
I swear to God.
The very red state of Texas, turnout was down 15%. That may have been that overconfidence.
And Mike, you don't think I'm going to stop you, do you?
Let
me move this table.
I will say, Mike, to your other point. I mean, one of the I was not. I'm really trying not to comment on things on Facebook today. I've made my one comment about folks being gracious to one another on regardless of what side
we agree on that. Conservative and liberal, we agree on that.
There's one thing that just got me was a political consultant, won't give his name out, made a boatload of money working for this particular candidate that I don't particularly like. And it's anybody who knows me knows who this is.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
Right.
But he
Warren
said so and so on this guy's Facebook page, your candidacy has made the country and the state richer. And I'm sitting here thinking, no, it made you richer and it made every TV station richer.
That's
what he made the country richer. I mean, of all the the balls on this guy to come out and say that.
Yeah.
Andrew and I were, I think at one point last night, I said to you, no, I said to you, I said, really, when I was looking at I was just looking at the TV and I was saying, my God, who does this? Who is the guy? And Buzz, you must have thought of this because we're both in the broadcast advertising business too. Mm-hmm. And I said, who are the people that are pocketing this money? Yeah. This money that was placed. Let me explain very briefly to listeners.
It's an industry now in this country.
If you're not aware of how it works. Mm-hmm. Every one of those little ads you saw has to be placed by somebody.
Yeah.
There's a company that is responsible for doing that.
More than one.
They're ad agencies, and their job is to place advertising on television and radio.
Mm-hmm.
They get a percentage of every single ad they place on the radio. And I was halfway through this election, I was going, oh, my God, there are people that must have been fabulously wealthy.
Between the president, the Senate, the House of Representatives, the gubernatorial races, and some of the many of the ballot initiatives across the country.
And Geico.
We just got through spending, and I'll repeat this later, too.
It dwarfs Geico.
We just got through spending $6 billion.
That's right.
We just spent $6 billion on this election.
Most of it being an infusion into various media outlets,
exactly. This was a boon for local TV stations.
And I want to restate this so people are clear about it. What you have is out of that $6 billion, you take percentages off of that for the people that produce the ads. That's nothing. That's just a drop in the bucket. I'm talking about the people, and I think literally these are a small group nationally that are responsible for placing these ads on TV. And I want to go work
every
for
second
them.
of ad time that was available in America in these battleground states was bought. That's why, Oscar, you had the gas can man guys buying your gas because they couldn't buy ad time.
Yeah, they couldn't. They were using
so
that.
They were
the
money somewhere.
Media, So.
Just amazing, and I asked you this, and you weren't really sure, who you knew a few people that were in this racket, but you did you indicate to me that these were national people as well?
Well,
that
there
these
are
were people that worked at this comes from on a national level. They're probably out of New York City.
Those agencies, they only get 20% of that $6 billion. So how will they get by?
Really, it's 20%. And Buzz is right about that percentage.
It's the folks who produce the ads. It's the folks who write the ads, which is something you and I talked about last night. And then it's the folks who place the ads, and then it's the folks who actually put the ads up. I mean, it's all.
And every one of them gets about 20%.
That's right.
I think.
Really, you look at that, and I cried. Just like the president at his last campaign speech.
You could have been the voice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You really, I was thinking about that. And
I think Romney would have won if the spots had been voiced by Charlie.
But
yes, I do.
Hello, Ohio.
Appealing to the common.
It's got to be.
The other guy sucks.
Yeah, it should be Smart Charlie.
Smart Charlie, which is my favorite.
Hello, Ohio. The other guy sucks.
Hey, you know what? While we're not gloating, can I gloat just one thing small that I'm very proud of?
You were pretty involved in this election.
It was great.
You owe me a bottle of booze, and congratulations to the state of Virginia.
Wow.
For a changing landscape. And I panicked last night because when I got home, and the first thing I watched was the victory speech, which was so flipping dynamic. What a great moment.
We'll talk about that when we come back.
But then I had to rewind to see the concession speech, but I forgot that I had rewound, and I looked down and I said, oh, what's happened to Virginia? Everything's changed. They've taken away 14%. They can't take it away from us, can they?
But glad you made it home last night, Rob.
It was fine.
We all are.
What I did is I kept one eye closed, kind of like you watching the president.
Okay. I was going to have a next segment of the show. Rob has just done it all. We'll take a break and we will come back. It's tough enough to do this goddamn show, Rob.
Nice tease.
We'll take a break. We will come back with more fun and more thrills. We'll break down the night that was. And this is day after election 2012. We'll be right back.
The heart is a blue, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room.
Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to one individual. She is my counselor at Wait Not, and her name is Christy. And Christy has been in touch with me the last few days, and I will tell you that she's quite the cheerleader. She does a very nice job, and I'm telling you, Christy, I'm having a weak day.
He needs you.
This is my most important Wait Not day because Mike was bad last night. Not because of food. Mike was bad because of brown liquor.
I saw no evidence of this.
Makes you crave sugar the next day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd like to have here's what I'd like to have.
I'll have
a dozen
finishers.
A piece of French toast.
Oh boy.
With caramelized apples on it and a piece of maple sugar on top.
Yeah.
That's right. We're talking about Wait Not. It is the program that yes, Andrew.
No, just keep going.
Go right ahead.
I have something about I talked to Christy at Wait Not on Monday.
Oh, you're starting,
right?
Yeah,
I'm starting my next round. And, I don't know, you guys have talked about it, but you can now buy your Weight Not plan on an installment plan. Which is news.
Easy payment.
How about that? Langer comes into panel with us, and he brings a new twist to the ad that we're doing.
Cool. Like that.
Here's the very cool thing about Weight Not out in Reno when we're there Saturday night. We're going to give somebody a chance to win that program, and really, it's life changing for Rob. You got out of your car today, sweetheart, and I looked at you. I was standing next to Andrew. I said, "My God, look at him! How much weight have you lost?
100 pounds.
100 pounds for Rob Spielak."
And also, I want to be clear here. When we talk about Weight Not, this is not Oscar's voting policy. This is
Vote Not.
That's good. I like that.
This is a way where you learn how to eat correctly in the real world. It's not shakes. It's not candy bars. You're existing among real people, eating real food that you buy at a real grocery store, and you just feel so good because you're operating your body the way it should be used.
For the people that are going to be joining us Saturday night out at Circus in Reno, I'd like to send this message to all of you. Are you fat? I'm sorry. That was Thornton Mellon. If you're fat, you might want to gravitate towards the front of the stage.
Even though it's a longer walk.
We're giving somebody...
You're going to want to try and push forward.
And it'll help if you're wearing a small T-shirt. That's too small for you.
Like a small Dick Queasy T-shirt.
That's right.
We are giving a lucky listener a chance to win the Weight Not program. If you'd like to be involved with Weight Not and you need to shed some pounds, this is the best program in the world. 855-WEIGHT-NOT, 855-934-4486 or weightnot.com. Unbelievable results you can believe in, and we thank them for making this available to some lucky listener at Circus on Saturday night. Hard to believe. It feels so far away from me right now that we are going to be at Circus.
Think you're going to make it to the airport on Friday?
I think I'll be fine.
I think you will, too.
I just want to make it through the day.
That's all.
I really have no idea how I'm going to do that.
And you have an appointment with your haberdasher tonight.
I do.
Can you squeeze
I'm picking up my suit tonight.
Squeeze a nap in there somewhere, maybe?
A little Army cot action?
You know what? This
Mike,
whole...
do you need me to chauffeur you?
This whole day, this whole
Andrew, you'll be here
hours,
another night.
This whole 24 hours has been surreal. There are moments in my life about sports, about people, about my career, about everything in my life. I look in the mirror and I say, why do you care so much?
That's true.
This is one of those times where I just say to myself, why do I get so emotionally involved? I woke up at 5 o'clock actually yesterday morning, and I said to myself, I felt amazing anxiety. Just like the kind of anxiety. I said, if I felt like that before we go on stage at Circus, we'd have a better show.
Will Santa bring me the sled?
The amazing thing is you woke up yesterday morning at 5 a.m. and this morning at 5 a.m. when you were going to bed.
Yeah, it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. I was up for 24 hours. I wrote this on Facebook, and this is the only heavy part of the show that I want to share with everybody because I felt this
right
after the Weight Not spot
from my heart. Absolutely. I wrote this to everybody last night, and I mean it. It was concerning the concession speech. One of the things I said to Langer here was, get ready. Get ready. As soon as it was called for Obama, as soon as Romney delivered the concession speech, I said, this is a man who appreciates history. This is somebody that's going to acknowledge the entire country and really get ready for a STEM winner. It's one of the things I said to you last night. And he did not disappoint. I've listened, like so many people in this country, to Barack Obama for 4 years.
Right.
And we have had our ups and our downs with our president, but especially that first debate, which was just, what the F?
He has got to know how close he came to losing the election
and who,
based on that night.
And who would be at fault is himself.
Right.
One of the things that I knew he was going to give a speech like that, but I was even surprised at the quality of that speech. It was amazing to me what he did last night.
There were several tears shed last night when we watched.
I was holding my wife. Katie was sitting there. We're watching this speech, and it was... I maybe because of the circumstances, maybe because of the long night, maybe because of the brown liquor. It was one of the most moving moments in
Would you like to hear some of it?
I would love that.
All right, let's go. Here's Obama.
You know what? If you could play the whole damn thing, I wouldn't have a problem.
I'm so jealous. It's only a 60-minute show.
It would give me a chance to actually,
get that nap.
Yeah, get a little nap. I wrote this before you play it, Rob.
Okay.
I wrote this 7 hours ago. It is so late, but I have to write. I am so exhausted, like many of my fellow Americans, but I am so gratified that the process has worked. I have never heard a more inspirational speech than the one our president delivered. Please listen to it if you can, and God bless America. That's what I meant.
Yes.
This speech, I get choked up talking about it.
Here's
part of it, anyway.
Our president for the next 4 years, Barack Obama, on what makes America great.
What makes America exceptional are the bonds that hold together the most diverse nation on earth. The belief that our destiny is shared, that this country only works when we accept certain obligations to one another and the future generations, so that the freedom which so many Americans have fought for and died for comes with responsibilities as well as rights, and among those are love and charity and duty and patriotism. That's what makes America great.
I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. Mr. Conservative, what do you think of that?
I mean, it's one of those things where this is, I believe, the first time I've ever heard the president talk about America as an exceptional nation. And that's something that's very important to me as a conservative, because I do believe that this nation is unique and exceptional on this planet.
Right.
And it perhaps has been one of the greatest differences between folks on the right and this president, is that they've never heard him articulate that before. Now, you can sort of go in and talk about the differences in what the president's version of exceptionalism is versus what conservatives might believe. But in the end, if we can come together around that seminal point, then there's hope for the future.
Right. He also went on to say, Mike, that we can achieve success through hard work.
America, I believe we can build on the progress we've made and continue to fight for new jobs and new opportunity and new security for the middle class. I believe we can keep the promise of our founding. The idea that if you're willing to work hard, it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from or what you look like or where you love. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Native American or young or old or rich or poor, able, disabled, gay or straight. You can make it here in America if you're willing to try.
You know what? I mean, these are principles that our country was founded on. But
Absolutely.
the fact is,
never hurts to hear them again.
You
though.
got to be able to articulate it. And
I think Oscar
God, what a job he did.
I would say that Chuck Todd doesn't make too many great points, but he made a great point yesterday on NBC when he said that speech was so remarkable, he wished he would have heard that during the convention.
Yeah.
That was the type of speech that would serve the Democratic Party and this country.
I
to
wish
hear
I'd
that
heard it
coming
4 years ago.
Coming from the president at the convention.
Could that speech exist outside of a victory, though? Could he
It
have the
could.
momentum to do
That's a
it?
great point,
I think
Rob.
it could have.
That's a good point.
If you think about it, what he said is basically what Clinton said.
Right.
But he said that.
Right.
Yeah.
The president of the United States at that point, who's still the president
I don't
now,
know.
said
I
that.
think the tone would be different, though. It would almost come off, I don't know the word, not gloating. Insincere.
I
Exactly.
agree with you.
But he
I
can
totally
say it
agree with
because
you, Rob.
he's got the embrace of the country. He just won the election, but he won the election.
But here's the thing
and
I
so
like
he
about
can
it.
come out and he has that sincerity built in.
I understand what Chuck Todd is saying. I understand what you're saying.
I
Oscar.
barely can understand what he's saying.
When you hear that, though, in a victory speech, I believe that the other side, and I ask you about this, Andrew, I think the country breathes a sigh of relief. What a beautiful
Mike, it is
victory
a speech. It is a speech, in that
long.
section. It was long. but that section of it, that specific American exceptionalism and the hard work section,
right.
Again, apart from a few small details, that's a speech that could have been given by Reagan or Clinton or Bush or just about anybody. And really, because that was a centrist speech. That was not a progressive speech.
All right, but still,
interesting. That's common
I agree with
ground.
that.
But still, history exists.
Except when he mentions gay and lesbians.
Well, yeah,
Well, you know how
that's
Reagan was
couple
about
details.
that. But history exists
Well.
only and purely in context. And
Right.
yet that could have happened there, but would it have been that remarkable? Because you're looking at the circumstances that led up to that speech. The fact that it was a narrow victory, but it was a victory nonetheless.
And importantly, it's been said now.
Yeah, it has been said. And also, can we have his closing? Because it was so great.
I want to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
I believe we can seize this future together because we are not as divided as our politics suggest. We're not as cynical as the pundits believe. We are greater than the sum of our individual ambitions, and we remain more than a collection of red states and blue states. We are and forever will be the United States of America. And together, with your help and God's grace, we will continue our journey forward. and remind the world just why it is that we live in the greatest nation on earth. Thank you, America. God bless you.
That was great. Greatest speech of his career, and this is a man that is not exactly bad at giving speeches.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's me. And I don't know. I was not as hammered as I could have been.
Right.
It sounds better.
I was blubbering like a little child.
It sounds better to me this morning.
Yeah,
with 12 hours on it, when I can sit back and really focus on what he's saying, it sounds better.
All right, well, Rob was asking what I'm going to do with my day. I'm going to go back and watch that speech about 700 times. I really think that's exactly. I've got it all on TiVo.
With your pants around your ankles?
With my pants around my ankles, Oscar. We'll take a break. Come back with Rob's audio ball right after this.
I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby. Here I am. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. Rob's Magic Audio Vault is brought to you by TwizGrid.
TwizGrid. Boo! Boo! It's on your phone.
TwizGrid is a free app for your iPad or iPhone that displays Twitter photos in a user-friendly format. TwizGrid is an official sponsor of our Reno stage show, and you can use it to watch us behind the scenes.
Boy, are you hungover.
We're not going to have a moment, are we?
Oh, no.
We're going to have cameras and microphones.
Oh, that's right. We have to have all that. The listeners are begging for it.
Rob, we have to have Mark, we have to have a hiding policy.
Yeah. Well, I've already
we have to have
worked that
a
out.
code word. Like,
What precisely do you want to hide, Mike?
What do they say about people that, when a woman
A safe
has
word.
A safe word.
Yeah.
We need a safe word.
Well, I've already told them whenever you do the cutoff sign with your, slashing your neck with your finger, that means stop.
Okay.
No more.
Although I do want them to record all the throat slashes because I want that in a montage.
All right, so if that's the safe word for either the people that are videoing us or TwizGrid, I'll greet Rob at the airport. Rob, let's do a little skit right now. As far as,
Okay, sketch.
I walked in the door at Dulles Airport. Here we go.
Hi, Mike.
Thank you.
I'd like to suggest a safe word.
Am I the only one who's disturbed by a safe word being the throat slashing motion?
That's choke me.
I think our safe word should be Meltzer.
No. That might work.
To join us backstage in Reno, just open the name that sounds like a disease, Reno Mera.
Oh, if you love us, you'll help us.
RENOMEARA album, Reno Mera. That's where it's going to be. With TwizGrid, you don't have to have a Twitter account to see the pictures. If you do have one, post comments on our photos. TwizGrid, TwizGrid. Find it in the App Store or click the ad on our website. Right. And I really do sound like Belushi in 1941.
Yeah, a little bit.
Open
the thing.
All right, it's open. There you go.
Just before we move on with other stuff, we talked a lot about the victory speech. Do you have any thoughts you want to share on the concession speech?
The concession speech was brief.
Yeah.
It was.
And I think it was brief, and I thought it was very well constructed.
I will tell you this, that I was surprised at the brevity of it, and what you heard all night long from his camp was that he had not even prepared a concession speech. And I'm sorry, this does not fit into the non-gloating thing.
Right.
But I kind of got that. It seemed like it was hastily prepared.
But what are you supposed to say?
Maybe that worked for the best. Because
I want to. If I lost, I want to get up there, graciously thank
and
everybody,
get the hell out of there.
Right,
you're right.
He really did not. He did not look like he wanted to be there. Here's just a few moments of it because it's really amazing.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
It to me is like a presidential inauguration with whatever team you're on. Mm-hmm. To me, the peaceful transition of power is really one of the most gracious things about the United States.
I have the dumbest question that I asked myself last night, and I forgot to look it up on Google. Uh-huh. There's not another swearing in, right? Is there another?
Yes. The whole ceremony happens every time.
It's called Inauguration Day.
Oscar in '96. In '96, Bill Clinton.
We're having a meeting after this.
I said, wait, that's why I was like, did we do that thing in the Capitol again?
They had seven different fireworks settings going on.
I'm saying this. I'm looking in the camera for our Ustreamers.
Oscar, the laughing must stop.
When we come back on Thursday, show's going to be down to 3.
And remember, Mike, the same guy that called it voting day just said, "Are we going to do the thing at the Capitol again?" The hand on the Bible thing.
Oscar Santana asked if there will be another inauguration.
Well, because the same guy
I'm going to use that. Look, if we're together, and God, I hope we are for the next 10 years, I'm going to use that one every one of those years.
Hey, I'm man enough to admit
if a team wins the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, do they get rings the second year?
Yeah.
You might be asking yourself, America, what type of person doesn't participate in the electoral process?
Right.
We just heard it.
Hey, you know what?
There we go.
Actually, there isn't going to be an inauguration if there's more than 10 people in line.
Not.
Please remember the tone that we just heard from the president's victory speech.
Right.
Jesus Christ, did you just get off the boat?
No, I literally thought about that last night.
He literally thought about it.
I was like, I gotta Google that before I go to work.
Yeah, but guess what? He didn't do that either.
The line was too long.
Exactly right. All right, here's Mitt Romney's concession speech, or a piece of it.
I have just called President Obama to congratulate him on his victory. I wish all of them well. This is a time of great challenges for America, and I pray that the president will be successful in guiding our nation. I so wish that I had been able to fulfill your hopes to lead the country in a different direction, but the nation chose another leader, and so Ann and I join with you to earnestly pray for him and for this great nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
Very gracious.
Not the guy I voted for, but I thought he did a fine job.
Classic job.
It is really what makes this country great that we're able to have that kind of night.
Actually,
where you
you're
do
wrong.
that.
What makes this country great? Parody records.
CNN projects that Barack Obama will be reelected president of the United States. He will remain in the White House for another 4 years.
Wait till the lyric. It's great.
Everyone congratulate Barack Obama, beat Mitt Romney, and edit all the...
That's what makes America great.
Are you going to deck Rob now?
Blowing up
I want to hit him after that.
No, you're fine.
Show down to 2 tomorrow.
The important question is, do you think that Newt Gingrich, if he had been the nominee, would have been that gracious?
No.
I
Newt
can
has
only
a
imagine
problem
what
with
speech
losing.
that would have been.
You know what? Newt would have dropped his pants and pooped.
This is what we didn't cover. Did anybody have you been? I know Andrew's aware of this.
What?
Donald Trump going?
Yes.
Absolutely badass.
I sent you some links to all those tweets.
Oh my God!
What did he say?
It's going to be big.
And Donald Trump,
He
by
wants
the
us
way,
to. He wants us to march on Washington.
yeah, he said he called for a revolution. Donald Trump did, and last night Brian Williams, who also works at NBC with Donald Trump, declared Donald Trump irrelevant at this point. So interesting things happening in the halls of 30 Rock today.
You know,
I'm irrelevant. I don't matter. I'm not on people's minds.
The revolution will be big. The march will be great.
Just amazing that he. Donald Trump is like a child. I mean, he is like the child that, one of the things that going into yesterday that I had in my mind, I said, I'm going to have about a 2-hour period of really feeling like crap. And I'm probably not going to be a good person to be around. But I am going to come in on this show, no matter what the outcome is, and you've got to accept the will of the American people. A guy like Donald Trump, nobody, I guess because he's got all that money and he's that powerful.
He's accustomed to getting his way.
Nobody ever sits the guy down and goes, you're a toddler. You're behaving the way you would take the smallest child. And you would say you can't behave like that.
And I will say that a guy like Donald Trump is the reason why the Republican Party is having so many problems.
That's one of the reasons.
That is a division of the have and have-nots, which really...
It's an ugly face.
If you look at the landscape of this election, it shows people that are scared of having someone in power that doesn't know their personal struggles, isn't aware of them.
Empathy. Is the word that comes.
Very
We'll come
wise
back
words.
to it. Donald Trump is not, though. He's not my favorite NBC employee.
No?
That award goes to a guy named Jason Colthorpe, who's at the NBC affiliate in Lansing, Michigan.
Colthorpe?
Who had an amazing, wondrous brain fart last night.
Was he overwhelmed by the election results?
Perhaps.
Great.
And, I mean, the pause here
Just like
is...
a hurricane, people get a little crazy.
It is so palpable. I love this. This is courtesy WILX and viral video all over the internet. Jason Colthorpe.
Right now, it looks like all 6 proposals are headed for defeat. Proposal 1, the referendum on the emergency. Oh, I'm sorry. Jeff, first of all, we talk about these proposals, how it's been trending.
And then he goes on like it never happened.
Like a sex or something?
Maybe.
That's a guy that, like, if anybody that's ever walked into a polling place and you read those questions that they put on there, you all look like that. It's like, ugh.
Maybe he would do better, Mike, if he'd had a drink.
Okay.
Like Diane Sawyer. I'm not saying anything.
There's much talk of this.
I'm not saying anything.
Really? Now,
I didn't watch any ABC footage until much after the fact.
I haven't heard of this. I have not heard audio on this, but let me just say this. You know, Diane Sawyer, in my humble opinion, gets the free pass of free passes.
Maybe
Diane
not much
Sawyer,
longer.
it is extremely important to point out, this lady was a Nixon speechwriter.
Yeah.
That is where there's where she cut her teeth. That tells you all you need to know about her politics.
On Nixon.
Before you even play this, I haven't heard about this. Go ahead, Andrew.
There was some talk that she was deep throat.
No.
There was.
Well, that
there
was
a rumor going around.
there was.
That she was
That's
deep
true.
throat.
Turned out it was a misunderstanding. It was another
Something
nickname.
else.
Yeah.
Let me ask. I have not heard the audio. I don't know anything
I think
about
you'll
this.
enjoy this.
Is there a chance that was she perhaps a little upset at the way the evening was going?
That's not the read I get.
People are saying that she was either very, very tired or, and they say they've seen this before in her drunk.
Yeah.
Or very old.
Yeah, well, the
This is-
thing
Yeah, she is also a lot older than she looks.
to be this tired, she would have to have still been up from the Nixon administration.
All right.
This is her talking about Minnesota.
You
okay?
decide.
Okay, I want to have can we have our music? Because this is another big one here. Minnesota, we're ready to project Minnesota right now. And again, another state the Romney campaign had raised a question whether it was in play. Well, tonight we know that President Barack Obama has won Minnesota.
Now, another thing that drunk people do.
Not sure I want to throw her fully under the bus.
Another thing that drunk people do is they focus on things that are not really consequential. Right?
Here's what I would urge everybody to do.
Urge them.
Listen to that audio, and then go listen to me in my third visit with you, and compare them. One of the men, I'm here to say, publicly, was illegally drunk.
Yes.
Diane Sawyer, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But sometimes when people are affected by inebriants, they will focus on things that don't matter. In this, she seems really into the fact.
Rob, as far as a reporter, you're an expert on this.
I really am.
You know what you're talking about.
And I can also cite my other expert to my immediate right.
Mark, like Mike losing his smart smoke last night.
Yes, that's right.
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
That's like right after they called him for Obama. Where's my smart smoke?
I walked into your room and you were disassembling your recliner. And fabric was coming off. And it's got to be in there somewhere.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it just like on the floor?
It was right next to the chair you were
my
sitting
God,
in.
you found it? It was not there, but
it was sitting on the floor.
Oh, my.
All right, back to Sawyer. She's very concerned about the fact that at one point the Obama campaign added an exclamation point to their slogan.
Right.
I want to go back out and see if we can put up side by side David Muir and Jake Tapper, because I do think it's all.
Let's hear that running start again. I want to take that from the front.
Oh, wow.
And remember, she's the anchor, so really she's setting the template and the whole tempo of the night.
Yeah.
And when you come out like this, there's troubles.
I want to go back out and see if we can put up side by side David Muir and Jake Tapper, because I do think it's always interesting to imagine being in each of those rooms right now and feeling the mood of the room, see if we can see it, see if we can hear it. And Jake Tapper, if you're there and can hear me right now, I have a question I wanted to ask, by the way. At one point, President Obama's campaign put an exclamation point after forward. It was just forward, and then it had an exclamation point. Yeah. When did they decide that was the right message for them?
That's
wow. For them.
You're really not that many steps away from being in a bar, asking that question, and then when someone tries to answer, you go, no.
My point is,
this is an exclamation
why
point.
is the exclamation point after that?
And then it's followed with, boy, is it hot in here.
Right.
That was not Diane Sawyer. That was my conversation with Mike at 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Why'd they put the exclamation point?
Why'd they put it there?
The tip-off is she opened the broadcast with the word "listen."
Listen. And here's just a couple other drunk Diane. I'm sorry. Here's a couple other moments of ABC's coverage of the election last night.
Okay. But we have a projection to make without our music. We need our music. Many of you are tweeting us that our projection jingle sounds like the sound of the NFL plays before a draft selection.
I need more olives.
Anyway, we'll come back to that, as you said, but I've been watching Katie Couric over here. She's been monitoring what people are right now. What are the trends? What people are asking about out there. We have to confirm this, but the Hispanic vote, as we know, was 9% 4 years ago, and there are some indications now that it's going to be 10%.
Yeah, there's some indications of that.
In order to do that, I mean, she's on from like 8 o'clock on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is she ducking into her office.
She's got to be
and knocking back vodka.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I just want
a little bit of Frank, Mike. A little bit of Frank Harden action.
I just want to tip the TMOS cap to Tony Perkins today. I just want to say hi to Tony. That's all.
What did Tony do?
Because he got out of there. He used to work.
He
used to work with Diane.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. Just hi, Tony.
Yeah. Buzz is referring to something that might be a little private story about Ms. Sawyer and why Tony left Good Morning America.
Snitches get stitches, Buzz.
It really.
Tony loves the D.C. area.
I'm not going
glad
there
to have him back.
There's plenty of gloating to do, but no, Tony. I remember having dinner with Tony Perkins in New York City and sitting down and going, "Hey, we're both AU graduates, class of '81." And I said, "Hey, dude, the top of the mountain."
Yeah.
And
Good Morning America.
And I think his response was something like. Anyway, Rob, you got a last one?
Yeah, let's close with this. Now, a lot of people, Jay-Z performed at a rally for the president last week, and everyone thought it was really cool. He changed the lyrics to 99 Problems. He changed the words.
Right.
I think it was Ain't Got Time for Bitches or to Ain't Got Time for
I've got
Mit.
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
But a Mit ain't one. Okay, so here's Conan discussing that last night.
Did you all see the Obama rally, the big Obama rally yesterday? Yesterday at an Obama rally, Jay-Z appeared and he altered some lyrics and he sang, "I got 99 problems, but a Mitt ain't one." Well, that settles it. Mitt Romney is never going to listen to Jay-Z again. He's through with Jay-Z.
I'm sorry, Mr. Z. I can't listen to you anymore.
That is your magic audio vault, everybody.
Thank you, Rob. We'll take a break. Come back with buzz and news the day after the election on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. Let's get right to it. A very big day in the country after really what seemed like a 12-year election cycle.
This is my last big day. After today, I become irrelevant. That's what happens. We're brought to you. Thank you, Mike. Brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Make this your easiest holiday shopping season ever. And we thank the listeners who use our Amazon link. Donna Jimenez Rojo wrote on Facebook, "I dropped about $600 at Amazon using their link, getting my new kitchen sink and faucet. Plan on spending another chunk of change this week to finish it off." Les Johnson says, "Just wanted the budding musician to know that I supported the show at Amazon through the Mike O'Mara Show. Essential Jazz, the first 100 years." You can get anything.
Guess what I ordered last night? Or not last night, but I'm sorry, the night before. All my fruitcake fruit.
He's not kidding.
Because they just don't stock it in grocery stores anymore. And you can get the best fruitcake fruit at Amazon and save thousands of dollars.
This is going to be the year that I don't bust your balls about your fruitcake because the fact
this
is,
man is lying.
No, at some point I will be sitting there at a table and knock a whole one back.
Oh, it's easy to do. And they're going to be even better this year because this year he's toasting his nuts.
Yeah, I am. It's true. Yeah. You'll have to hide one from Carla because she gets very possessive.
Yes, she does.
There's no better way to help yourself and this show than doing your holiday shopping and all your shopping through the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Bookmark it, and we thank you. It was an easier win than expected for President Obama, a clear but close victory by 100 electoral votes and a scant million popular votes. In his victory speech, he promised to try to end politics as usual. He said, and we quote, he must reach across the aisle to do the people's work. You will hear those words again in a moment. It has to be said about what we just put ourselves through. 2 years of emotional debate among citizens, $6 billion spent on the various political campaigns, and after all that money and all that turmoil, it appears we're right back where we were politically. Now, Republicans keep control of the House and the governorships. Democrats stay in charge of the Senate and the White House. But we're here to say today that things might actually change, and here's why. We are headed for a fiscal cliff that could bring all kinds of doom upon this nation, and one has to believe that the lawmakers and the president will not let that happen.
You remember him?
Sure.
Fiscal Cliff?
Fiscal Cliff.
DJ, yes.
WYRE Saturday noon show.
I think that was him.
Fiscal Cliff with you.
Sure.
You're right on the money.
Here's Kenny Nolan.
They're gonna try to Fiscal Cliff with you. Sure, they may try to kick it down the road a bit longer, but at some point soon they will have to fix it. The other reason things might change, Republican obstructionism probably won't survive another 4 years. It was fine for the party when its leaders thought it would get Obama out of the White House, but that play didn't work, and Republicans see they've already lost Latinos and women and know that changes have to be made within their party.
WYRE. 6 minutes before the hour. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Here's your AccuWeather and Tide timetable forecast on WYRE. Oh, we're out of time. Here's Kenny Nolan and I Like Dreaming. Oh, you know what? Ron Kirsch.
Yes.
God bless him. Guy that doesn't buy time on this show.
Yeah, right.
Send Dacron Kirsch, a tape of this. Ron, I want sweaty balls or whatever that. Fresh balls.
Fresh balls.
I want fresh balls.
Sweaty
on the
balls.
Mike O'Mara show.
Me too.
I want them as an advertiser. Ron Kirsch. Do the best. Play it again because I got to do the talk.
That's right. We're going to do it right.
And don't forget your name.
But your fiscal clip.
This is more than that. This is not WYRE. This is WOHN, a station that no longer exists out in Herndon, Virginia. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike O'Mara, 6 minutes before the hour. Coming up, your chance to win a trip to Bermuda from WOHN. Here's Kenny Nolan. I never hit it.
It's tricky.
I have never hit it in my life.
Well, the reason is that there's no set tempo leading up to the vocal. You actually hit the drum post. You get partial credit for that.
Thank you very much.
Fiscal clip.
All right, one more time.
I'll give you a stager for it. You're listening to the Fiscal Clip Show.
Here we go. WOHN, the sound of Herndon, Virginia. Hi, this is Mike O'Mara reminding you, Saturday night I'll be at the Moose Lodge giving away WOHN t-shirts. If you'd like to come by, I'd sure like to see you. Here's some more music for you now with Kenny Nolan. I never do it. God damn it. All right, that's it. Let the man finish his news.
I don't know.
So Republicans, it's been made clear to Republicans that they need to find a way to re-include Latinos and women in the party so they know that they're going to have to make some changes.
Even though you bailed on democracy's not bailing on you or your people or something.
At least some Republicans see that. In his slow-to-come concession speech last night, Mitt Romney called on lawmakers to work together. Quoting him, at a time like this, we can't risk partisan bickering. Our leaders have to reach across the aisle to do the people's work. Same words as Barack Obama.
That's right.
Good to hear from Mitt Romney. John Boehner, who will continue to run the House, said, and I quote, if there is a mandate, it is for both parties to find common ground and take steps together to help our economy grow and create jobs. But one Republican soldier
said... Did you have the quote from Boehner? Because I had it right here. He said, "We are a stronger country if we work together."
End quote.
Yeah, thank you.
But one Republican soldier, separated from his battalion apparently, is not going quietly. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell struck a more negative tone last night, referring to what he called the president's failures and excesses, and calling on Mr. Obama to present proposals that have a chance of passing the Republican-controlled House. Mr. McConnell's minority in the Senate is even 3 votes smaller as a result of yesterday's election.
Oh, really? They lost?
They lost 3 seats.
In Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
They lost that Senate seat.
Some of the Republican parties,
way to go, Lizzie Warren.
Some of the more extreme members of the party got the heave-ho yesterday. Missouri's Todd Akin of legitimate rape fame, beaten. Indiana's Richard Murdoch of rape God intended fame, beaten. Minnesota's Tea Party darling Michelle Bachmann, meanwhile, survived her close race.
Oh, great.
Exit polling shows women and minorities went to the polls yesterday in numbers similar to those that elected Obama 4 years ago.
That would be
Republicans taking note of that.
Andrew, would that be the biggest surprise in this election, that those numbers were not expected to be the same for the Democratic Party?
And the youth vote.
That the youth vote was, I think that would the youth vote be the biggest surprise for you?
I'd say that the enthusiasm hadn't waned. Yeah, that was very, very surprising.
Yeah, very surprising.
Yeah.
Nobody called that one.
Right, that's true. No. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't. Nobody said. The
Oscar did.
Turnout was actually down yesterday.
I actually saw the youth vote when I drove through D.C. last night. People were hammered and they were partying in the streets.
As Franklin Delano Roosevelt
I was in Manassas.
As Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said about Oscar, never has a man with such a tremendous work ethic showed such little initiative for his country.
Hey, vote not. I want to work.
Vote not.
But in spite of all that, turnout was actually down yesterday. It was down 11% in the solidly red state of Texas. It was down 7% in Maryland, even with gambling and gay marriage on the ballot.
That's because all the Chad Dukes didn't vote.
And not surprisingly.
He's not from Maryland.
But isn't it true? I mean, he was one of the guys.
Yeah, Chad didn't vote.
Chad's a right-wing leaning guy, loves guns, and all that type of stuff. And he thought the whole thing was a joke. I mean, Chad put up a post on his Facebook page. I don't care about your effing sticker or something like that, or I don't care about your sticker. And that's the way I think a lot of people in this election that kind of skew right
may have cost her on it.
Felt about it.
Yeah,
I really do. What do you think?
I asked him, and he said, he's like, look, I didn't vote. I'm not proud of it. I just didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm with you, man. I went to the line.
It's an
There's 10
epidemic.
people. I'm out.
Well, you know what I call that?
Like peas in a pod.
I call that home run for the Big O and Duke show.
Bipartisan.
Not surprisingly, turnout was down 15% in the hurricane-ravaged Northeast, although people made Herculean efforts to get to the polls.
Herculean.
That, too.
Now, do you say Herculean?
I've heard Herculean, but
That's wrong.
Herculean is...
They only say that in Hawaii.
Hercules.
It's a tough word.
It's probably Herculean.
Herculean.
I should study
Herculean.
up on that.
It's her Carlston. Mike, hold on. I've got it in dictionary.com. It's pronounced Harford.
Listen.
Sound it out.
Herculean slim thing.
Pass the Hennessy.
What it is, it means of a large or important nature, and it is pronounced
No, I have it here.
You good.
A daunting task. Herculum, Flynn and Lolden.
having to do with mythical Greek feature Hercules, and it is pronounced
Diane Sawyer.
Wrap this up, Buzz. Jesus
We can do it all day.
And I shall. Gay marriage did pass in Maine and in Maryland, along with the casino gambling question. Recreational marijuana was legalized in Colorado and Washington State.
Who's going to Fort Washington with me to play the slots?
I'll stop by and see Liddy.
Hey, Mark, can we get in on the ground floor with those people?
Mike O'Mara's Hollywood Casino?
I've never had a good relationship with the people in West Virginia. I'd love to get on the... this is from an advertising standpoint.
Of course.
Let's just get in there as early as possible.
I'll give them a call.
Would you ever make a call on that client?
Oh, absolutely.
I would think so. You want to babysit that account.
We'd love to meet you in the lounge.
Buzz, did the condom and porn measure pass?
I've not heard the results on that. I looked for that this morning and haven't heard yet. I will research that and have that for you later.
Do you guys know what that is?
This is the LA County has put a ban on a proposed ban on unprotected sex.
Oh, it's the dental
porn.
dams.
Dental dams and condoms.
And that was on the ballot yesterday. I have no idea what happened.
Well, you know what a dental dam is? I mean, really, just I watched it on The Doctors the other day, a show that I watched.
Of course. You've revealed too much.
Well, what happened? He watches it a lot because they always want him to be on it.
You've lost all credibility.
I'm an idiot.
Watch The Doctors.
I'm not even continuing.
I'm so glad that on our way to Reno, we're stopping over. We have a brief layover in Denver. Recreational marijuana legalized in Colorado and Washington State.
Buzz will have a great second leg of the trip.
He's going to say this is the best caramel sundae I've ever had.
It's a Mile High Airport. And medical marijuana was approved in Massachusetts. Oregon's pot measure failed, as did the medical marijuana question in Arkansas.
Oh, today was voting day.
And finally,
I should have gone in and voted.
Finally, if only there was some election day story from Florida to go out on.
No.
Dateline Boca Raton.
Oh, here we go.
A woman went to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. A woman who had gone there was barred from voting in Florida for a while yesterday for wearing an MIT sweatshirt. As any sharp Floridian poll worker knows, MIT not only stands for Massachusetts Institute of Technology, it's how you misspell the name of the guy running against Obama. And political advertising in a polling place is illegal. That's right. She was kept from voting at first because she was wearing an MIT sweatshirt. The woman was ultimately allowed to vote, but only after the poll worker got an education.
Oh, my God.
I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
You can't come in here.
No, I'm sorry.
You can't come here. Well, I went to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I don't know nothing about that. This is FLA, baby.
I need your address.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Our show today was brought to you by Vistaprint.com. If you're starting a business and you need quality business cards, they got them for you. Listen to this price. 250 beautiful, wonderful, with their new modified stock, an incredible-looking business card for just $10. That includes free shipping, half the regular price, and you have to enter the code TMOS to do that. In the search bar in the upper right-hand corner, check out their whole line of printed products. Again, half off premium business cards and free shipping. Enter the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com. Andrew Langer.
Hey, Andrew.
Get the hell out of my house.
Get out.
Hey, Mike, I just want to say Division 012 will be available at MikeO'MaraShow.com later today.
Wow.
And really, the only thing I say, no gloating. That's the only thing I want to impart to our listeners. I'll leave the bumper stickers up for the whole day.
I'd prefer Crown Black.
Thank you very much, Rob. You'll get your booze. So long. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.